We have in our hearts only the simplest feelings, for the trumpets wake us and sleep us without glory. Yet when the salute comes up, the sudden revealings of the moving flag exhume an inventory of braver desires and deeds than we can know. 1941 Bronco. Ever since Robert S. Goss accepted the challenge to erect an institution of learning in this unlikely remote section of New Mexico, cadets have lived, learned, and dreamed here. For more than a century, the School on the Hill has stood for superior education and a proud military tradition. But even more importantly, New Mexico Military Institute has imbued more than 20,000 young people with the priceless values of duty, honor, and achievement. No matter how far I travel from NMMI, no matter how many years separate my days there, it remains the single most influential experience of my life. Throughout my career, and especially at CNN, I've had to deal with mankind's darker side, the grim stories of human nature. And I have always come back to the cadet code, duty, honor, and achievement, and how much that has meant to me, and how that set me on the unswerving path that I think I'm on today. I not only live by the honor code, I don't like to be around people who are not living by it. I often think about men like H.P. Saunders and all those who came before and after. If they could stand here with me today, I know they would say that New Mexico Military Institute made us who we are. Men of NMMI's golden age, like the legendary Babe Godfrey, Pulitzer Prize-winning author Paul Horgan, and you, Bill Daniels, are among our best and brightest. R. William Daniels, class of '41, captain of B Troop, a stellar athlete in football, boxing, and basketball, who came to NMMI as a 17-year-old from Hobbs, New Mexico in 1937, a product of the Great Depression and a lean but abundantly rich childhood in Council Bluffs.
The Daniels family moved during the Depression to be with their grandparents and lived across the street then from my dad and his brothers and sister. Jack and Bill and my dad and his brother George, I think they were all around the same age. So those four boys did a lot of things together and just kind of traveled in a pack. They did anything they could to earn quarters, $50 if they were lucky, take odd jobs, whatever they could find to help out.
You learned about duty early on. And like so many young men of the time, within just a few brief months after leaving NMMI, you joined the fight to save our nation and the free world. You would return to build a telecommunications empire and establish a lasting legacy of humanitarianism and philanthropy. And some 56 years later, joined President Gerald R. Ford in receiving the first Will Rogers Award from New Mexico Military Institute.
Bill Daniels, I say with emphasis, you've earned the Will Rogers Memorial Award because you personally personify the spirit, the credo of the New Mexico Military Institute: duty, honor, achievement.
You accepted the honor with these words of remembered advice from Paul Horgan.
He quoted Winston Churchill to me one day, and I'll never forget it. He said, "Jeep, here's the lesson, and don't you ever forget it. Always try and do more than you think you can. But remember, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. What counts is courage." And you'll find that to be true in your future life.
Now, the Institute must have the courage to face the future head on. Like at so many other pivotal points in its 108-year history, NMMI must reinvent itself to shape young lives for the next century.
Mr. Daniels, Bill, the campus is about ready to come to life again as we get those young men and women back here with us. We have just completed a series of briefings and meetings with all our foundation boards, our regents, and with our alumni board. I have never felt such a strong sense of teamwork here on the Institute as I have in these past few days. It's in that context that we are asking you to seriously consider a legacy gift that will impact this school like none has. It will completely change the paradigm as we look towards leadership training, not just for our cadets, but equally important for this country.
No matter what the future holds, NMMI's creed remains the same. The ideals of duty, honor, and leadership that have guided us for more than 100 years are still the hallmarks of New Mexico Military Institute.
We're about teaching leadership. We're about learning to accept responsibility. We're about honor. Be an ethical person. You know, your word is your bond. A handshake, that's a contract.
With the launch of the Leadership and Ethics Fund, NMMI will create a national program benefiting not only cadets, but youth across America.
If NMMI just turned within itself to do this, I don't think it would have the chance of success. No, it has to turn outward, and it has to bring in people, quote, from the outside world.
You have to have a multiplier effect.
It could be used to bring in a firm or a corporation executives who want to really sit and study and discuss leadership.
I believe that the other military schools that are lacking the substance and the values and the character development would really benefit if we had a center that they could come and use.
I'm confident the NMMI can be the model for, can be the inspiration for, can be the generator of, can be the mentor of a variety of leadership programs that can do, can provide marvelous benefit to this nation.
NMMI will offer a summer leadership institute in addition to a regular curriculum of enhanced performance instruction, character development, honor and ethics training, and etiquette counseling. Excellence and achievement will be encouraged through the annual presentation of the Daniels Leadership Awards, as world dignitaries and historians speak on the qualities and characteristics found in great leaders throughout the ages. These unique programs would extend NMMI's code and values beyond this campus to young people outside the Corps at a critical time in our nation's history, at a time when the youth of America are crying out for positive leadership.
I think about all of the resources that this country spends in a reactive way on correcting societal ills, treatment of youth at risk, and that sort of thing. And I think that's necessary. It's a little like treating the wounded in battle, in combat. You must do it. But reactive programs and the afflicted never ever won the war. What we need really is a strong, proactive set of programs that will develop affirmative-minded leaders at all levels, who are proud of their honor, proud of their integrity, proud of their sense of service. And NMMI can do that.
No one was better at teaching leadership and the value of integrity than Babe Godfrey. After 7 decades devoted to the Institute, it's the one quality that he treasured the most.
My integrity. And I think my honesty in dealing with cadets. And that's the one thing that I have always tried to do. That's one of the nicest things that I can look back on. And when a lad comes up to see me and tells me that he remembers me with much, much kindness.
The Babe molded character. He made men out of boys. He taught us to be confident, to be fearless, to be respectful to all mankind, to lose graciously, to win with pride, but to never, and I mean never, never quit.
The new R. William Daniels Leadership Center will be a tribute to Babe Godfrey and all those who lived and died by the code.
A leadership center, Leadership with Integrity Center, would be another just fantastic opportunity for NMMI.
Just think of what could be done in that center. First for the cadets, #1 priority, but beyond that.
Given the opportunity to build a center that would have the reference material and all the data to computers and everything that would go along with it, we could spread the name of our school across the nation as a center for leadership.
Not just to do what it does well, but to do it even better and maybe best.
New Mexico Military Institute is still one of the finest college preparatory high schools and junior colleges in America. Education has always come first at NMMI. It may be the West Point of the West, but our graduates rank among America's most successful professionals in business, sports, medicine, and education.
As an educator, looking at the educational field across the country, this school is already at a level that I would call one of the truly excellent prep schools in the country. I think we can go from excellent to outstanding.
You know, Mr. Daniels, I've heard many times about the second chance H.P. Saunders gave you. It's a well-worn story, and rest assured I've had many second chances here. With the creation of the Daniels Scholar Fund, NMMI will provide not just an education for our time, but it's an education for all time, instilling the character, the intellect, the courage, the head start that young Americans must have to lead in the years to come. The Scholars Endowment Fund will change the face of recruitment at NMMI, providing funds for promising students. Most importantly, the Daniels Scholars Fund will establish a lasting academic endowment to provide for NMMI cadets into the next century and beyond.
Through the scholarships, to be able to reach out there and make sure that the really deserving young man or woman that's got the smarts, got the desire, and has the right stuff, for lack of a better term, can come to our school and be helped to afford it and benefit from the same program that my father did, Mr. Daniels, myself, and all of us that have walked through the Sally Point.
Scholarships to help bring in the best student. But you know, that's an interesting thing because we also mold students. You know, so it's not just bringing in the best, it's being able to mold them to be their best.
Despite the best laid plans, no individual or institution can predict the future. We can only plan for the possibilities. Through the superintendents and foundation funds, NMMI will be prepared for operational and growth needs and whatever opportunities tomorrow might hold for the school on the hill.
This kind of gift will allow NMMI to have a stability, an insured stability, and base that they can then focus upon their primary mission of this Corps of Cadets, and I have no question we will see an enhancement of even the very fine competency that's in place now.
And I think that the Institute will just continue to advance and change with the changing technology and just become better and better.
It's been my experience wherever I've come up across my fellow alumni anywhere, both in the Army and outside civilian life, that there's a particular sentimental hold of the experience of cadet life there that I don't know any similarity to elsewhere. There's something close developed at that time that seems to linger in later life.
The Institute has given to me and to my family all the foundations that it takes to be a successful individual. Leadership is taught here, respect for authority, and perhaps the most important thing, loyalty.
So it's a cherished tradition and honor for our family to be involved in what we view as the finest school and the finest opportunity for young men and women in the country.
What is it that makes the Institute such a special place in the hearts of its cadets? Why does it linger in the mind and the soul long after that last horse is ridden and the last drill is sounded and that Roswell, New Mexico is a distant memory? Maybe it's because so many couldn't return, never return. And for those who remain, it's the belief that something very special has been given to us here that can never be taken away, and the knowledge that it lives in a new generation.
I wouldn't have changed my life for the last 6 years for anything. It has made such an impact on my life and changed my life so much. And I know that all the other alumni, no matter how many years they were here, it affects them all the same way. Something we all share is the fact that the Institute has changed our life forever.
Jeep, we it can't even put into words what we've been able to accomplish over in the athletic department, not only with the facilities that we have, but also with some of the young men that you've helped to come to school here. Beginning back in 1981, when you set up the scholarship program for us, which has enabled at least 70 or more young athletes to attend New Mexico Military Institute. Again, from my own heart, Jeep, thank you very much, and God bless.
Jeep, I want to say our young people don't have very many heroes today, and I want them to know about a hero that we know and love that has given so much to our school. These youngsters just seem to come alive when they hear about people who have come here and made a difference in our country and in the world, and you have done that. And we want to thank you for that, because we know it wasn't easy, and we want to show the young people where you came from and how you did it.
We want you to be recognized on this campus as rightfully you should be. This is the Daniels Leadership Center. It stands for what you stand for, and we think your name needs to be prominently displayed here with the other wonderful, great names that you see on NMMI.
Maybe there's no better way to end this than with the words of Paul Horgan. This is our alma mater. This is our stalwart institute. We will have her always on our way. Memories with us, day by day. We will remember cadets marching. We will remember cadets playing and bugles in the sunrise, all our life beneath blue skies. These are the things that cannot vanish no matter where we go. On behalf of New Mexico Military Institute, thank you.